Thanks for joining me. I'm back with another little video giving you a glimpse into life in a small Turkish village. If you've been following along, you may have already seen that my husband's family is from a small village in the Konya province of Turkey, and his family still has a village home there. My in-laws have been there for most of the summer, and we went to visit them, but really I think more than anything, my mother-in-law was just missing Fig. Grapevines grow well in this area, and many people have grape arbors growing around their village homes. My mother-in-law collects the grape leaves to preserve for making a popular finger food called sarma. Sarma just means wrapped in Turkish, and essentially they're wrapped grape leaves that are filled with a rice and herb mixture, and then you steam them until cooked through. If my mother-in-law ever makes these in the future, I'll try to film a little bit of the process for you. As you may have seen in other videos, there are lots of stray cats in Turkey, like lots and lots. This furry friend had some adorable kittens in the courtyard, and the little white one in particular was just so cute. Contrary to what you might think though, stray cats in Turkey often have a pretty good life and are nearly always watered and fed by those in their neighborhood. There was a really sweet documentary a few years back about the life of street cats in Istanbul called Kedi, which means cat in Turkish, and I definitely recommend watching that. Since we're nearing the end of summer, my in-laws' courtyard garden is producing lots of fruits and vegetables. My father-in-law likes to show me around the garden to explain what everything is, but my Turkish still isn't good enough to follow along completely. This doesn't stop him though, and he usually just keeps rattling off in Turkish, but sometimes he does break out his phone for Google Translate. The plum trees in the garden had tons of fruit on them, and they were just starting to get a little bit ripe, so my father-in-law picked a big bag full for us to take back. And I ended up making a plum crisp out of most of them, and it turned out really great. The village my in-laws are from is pretty small and doesn't have a farmer's market of its own, so we drove to a nearby town to pick up some fruit and vegetables. In Turkey, you'll see a lot of people eating sunflower seeds. It seems to be one of the most common snacks. And here at the market, they were actually selling the fresh sunflower heads. If you want, you could just pop the seeds out and eat them that way, or of course, you could always roast them. And since it's summer, there were lots of watermelons, or karpuz as they're called in Turkish. I really love watermelon, but it is a bit tricky to carry if you're at the market and you already have your arms full. So sometimes it's just easier to buy them at the many roadside stands you'll find throughout Turkey. In addition to produce, most markets have vendors selling a variety of home goods. And this time of year, I've been seeing more and more items that can be used for preserving produce, like large glass jars and canning lids of all sorts. And of course, there was a variety of demlik, which is a very special type of kettle for Turkish tea. I think every Turkish home I've seen so far must have at least 3 of these, or more. Since it was a sort of special occasion of us visiting, we got some etli ekmek. I mentioned this in a previous video about village life, but etli ekmek is a sort of flatbread with meat and veggies, and then you bake it in a large wood-burning oven. And since these stone ovens are so big, many people actually take their ingredients to a special type of restaurant that bakes it for you. The restaurant provides the dough, and then all you have to do is bring in your meat and veggies. They'll chop everything up, bake it for you, and then after it's baked, they'll cut the etli ekmek, box it up, and you take it home. So it's sort of like getting takeout pizza, just Turkish style. The place we tried this time was new to us, but we all agreed that they had a really good crust. My in-laws have lots of relatives and friends in the village, and they love to socialize, so on this night we went to meet some family for tea. Generally speaking, I find Turkish culture to be much more social than American culture. There's almost always an invitation waiting for you to stop over to someone's house for tea, and these evenings tend to start really late, in my opinion, like at the point where I'm already wanting to be in my pajamas, and it usually lasts for hours. There's a sort of ritual of being served salty snacks and dessert, and then tea and fruit. And I find that in the US, we usually have a couple-hour limit for these sort of gatherings, and there's sort of this unstated rule to not stay longer than a couple of hours. But in Turkey, I'm always surprised how many hours we end up at someone's home, or vice versa. I never count on these gatherings being less than 3 to 4 hours minimum. I'm curious if anyone else has noticed this. Thanks for watching this little video of mine. I really appreciate your time. And if you'd like to see more from my perspective as an American living in Turkey, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and giving this video a thumbs up. Until next time, thanks!